In late March 2020, all Sharjah Private Educational Authority schools were required to implement distance learning due to the outbreak of COVID-19 in the UAE and globally. Based partly on the ongoing nature and range of learning modes operating in schools, the Continuous School Improvement Department at SPEA decided to construct and share with its community a common Learning Walk tool for the current learning environment. October 2020, SPEA forwards their Learning Walk Diagnostic for blended, hybrid and distant lesson with templates and guides. Thank you to our dynamic team of middle leaders, teachers, students and parents for their involvement and contribution to making this, as we called it, a project, a fun and learning experience. A special thanks to our school advisor, Ms. Lynn Stanbridge, for her mentorship, support and encouragement in striving for excellence.
Get out of your comfort zone. All improvement will require changes, but not all changes will result in improvement. To demonstrate if changes are really improvement, you need the ability to test changes and measure the impact successfully. When we speak about measuring the impact, we seek usefulness, not perfection. So, to reach there, set up a clear objectives and directives, utilize useful measurement tools, and involve all parties in your continuous reviews to ensure the continuous improvement.
Learning walks were intended to be brief, systematic and coordinated visits to classrooms throughout the school for short periods. These visits collected patterns of data on the classroom environment and to capture a snapshot of the instructional focus and practices across the entire school to support teachers in their pedagogical improvement. Yes, it needed to be systematic, and these learning walks proved to be a powerful means of helping educators continuously develop the quality of teaching and learning. At this point, the school management team decides on the implementation of complete awareness involving all its stakeholders by developing themes for each of the 8 criteria.
Our school implemented the learning walks in the form of themes, a theme for every 2 weeks. We started step by step and included our students largely in it. My students waited eagerly every 2 weeks to see what will be the next new theme. Learning walks allowed me to grow professionally in my field and pushed me away from the stereotypical way of teaching.
وقد كان لهذه المعايير آثار إيجابية في تمكين المعلم من تقييم أدائه تقييما ذاتيا بحسابات موضوعية تمهد السبل للارتقاء بمستوى أدائه وبمستوى تحصيل طلبته في آن معا. ولا سيما أن تفعيل كل معيار من المعايير الثمانية يتم بأساليب عديدة.
Weekly meetings, whether by the school management or departmental, were scheduled with staff online to highlight the indicators from the Learning Walk manual and the introduction of the new themes and communicate our expectations.
Sir, you were asking about the positive points that actually we gained from going through all the themes from the beginning of the year. I'm going to talk, from my point of view, this actually helped me to develop myself. At the beginning of every week, I found myself researching on how can I achieve and implement such a theme in my classroom.
Schedules were sent out pairing mentors, our middle leadership, in an exchange program of subject departments to ensure effectiveness and also to ensure a succession of discussions and improvements to the mentoring process. Leaders ensured a cross-section of teachers from all phases of the school, grades and subjects were being monitored.
We cannot know our capabilities if we are afraid. That's exactly what we Al-Ansarians did. Our teachers have brought our creative side in us by letting us lead the lessons. Activities on Century, Nearpod and quizzes has always kept our lesson interesting.
My Year 8 boys took to every theme positively. One of the themes that stood out to me was the student empowerment theme. Implementation of these Learning Walk themes have helped my students gain immense confidence through this accelerated learning process. I am very appreciative for what I've achieved. I remember a famous quote from an ex-American president: "Do what you can with what you have where you are."
Firstly, we found that the SPEA learning walks were very user-friendly, they were dynamic, and they were a great tool to develop an effective classroom learning environment. We also saw the potential to develop the teacher skills and confidence, and while it was a step-by-step approach, it was also integrated. We were enthusiastic about the new tool because of the focus themes and because they were clear with specific indicators. We were even able to incorporate our monitoring and mentoring program to use the SPEA Learning Walk as part of that and include it in our CPD program. The CPT training department organised effective orientation for the teachers before each 2-week theme, and we felt that the 2-week themes were very effective to develop these concepts. We integrated also into our school improvement plan, and during each theme we developed and prepared a resource support document where we added links and other documents. All our work was then shared with the community on our dedicated monitoring and mentoring Google Drive. Each theme built on the previous themes, which was an asset, so they accumulated, and the performance and tracking forms were very useful, but next year we're going to take the forms and we're going to reformat them so they become individual teacher profiles where we can monitor each teacher's progress and we can add them to the teacher portfolios. We use the themes also to upgrade the planning templates in our Atlas curriculum platform, and we even added new planning elements because of the SPEA themes. We integrated the learning walks also with our e-learning program and with our 4 AI programs. We shared the themes in class with the students and with the parents, so they all identified with our outcomes of this program were really significant. It became a completely integrated part of our school program and flowed smoothly. The teachers all participated happily. They developed confidence because they had a supportive, non-threatening environment. The mentoring was another skill that developed dramatically for our educational supervisors, and their interaction with the teachers was very positive. The students and parents visibly saw and commented on the positive changes that they were seeing in their students' classrooms, their children's classrooms. The level of participation and questioning dramatically improved in classrooms, and also there was even an improved and more effective student-teacher relationship. As with every journey, there are stories along the way. My favourite stories are while observing classrooms. I noticed the students interacting differently. Also in term 3 last year, our students started producing their own videos about the classroom work. And when we started the learning walks, the students were now using what the teachers were doing to create videos. One of the students in the session said, "Please, miss, can I show the students a video about the lesson we had yesterday?" She presented the video and it was a brilliant revision of the previous lesson, and the students engaged in high-level questioning and discussion about that video. The next session I watched was middle school boys, and one of the students said, "Sir, could I please show the video? I prepared a video of today's lesson." So the teacher used that to introduce the lesson, and it was an excellent introduction to the topic, and again the level of engagement and questioning from the students was very high. We hope you enjoyed this Learning Walks journey as much as our school did. Good luck.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Welcome to our first episode of Serve to Make a Better World, where we invite people to discuss about global goals and what can be done to make a better world. So welcome our first guest for today. Ranim, would you introduce yourself?
Thank you, and welcome everyone. I'm Ranim Wissam, and I'm from Syria. I was born on 20th of January 2007. I am an IGC.
Okay, would you choose any 5 global goals and develop solutions for them?
Okay, I would choose first global goal is no poverty, which is 1, and poverty is not a task of charity. It's an act of justice and the key to unlocking an enormous human potential. And still nearly half of the world's population lives in poverty and lack of food and clean water. It's killing thousands every single day of the year. But together we can feed the hungry, wipe out disease, and give every...
Thank you, Raneem, for coming, and that was a successful interview.
Thank you. That was a pleasure talking with you, and have a great day.
Throughout this year, we had different themes every week, including student well-being, student learning, and student resources. My favorite was student resources, because the students get to share their fun and amusing games, and this makes learning very entertaining and a piece of cake.
The teachers enjoyed their roles more as facilitators and encouraged the students to become self-independent learners. The exchange visits between the departments has made everyone in the school have the same perspective, and so we grow as a whole. As the classroom environment.
Snaps and tips. Transparency and effective communication of our aims and themes to the parents and students accelerated the achievement and highlighted the responsibility and accountability values. Collaboration and motivation of our proactive team sets highly expectations from leaders, educators, and students, without neglecting the parents' role, support, and orientations. Progress reports for teachers, departments, and overall school reports sets the expectations and priorities to identify what's next. Brainstorming sessions, SWOT analysis, and Six Sigmas are basic analytic tools that keeps you improving and planning for the improvements.
The Learning Walk enhanced the professional dialogue about teaching and learning among teachers, as it improved my professional development and self-observation.
And now what amazed me is that they learned linking their life to learning. They are not only fond of abstract thinking, but they are also encouraged to demonstrate their digital skills in different challenges throughout the lesson. And
as a part of our key findings, the Learning Walk has become an important enabler of effective monitoring and mentoring, which involves the provision of support and support structures within the school framework, which promotes the learning of all stakeholders. Acknowledged and identified by the senior management team and educational supervisors that successful induction is made possible by effective mentoring, and that mentors are most effective when they themselves received support. Support from within the school included school leaders providing guidance, expertise, and emotional support that recognize and acknowledge the complexities of mentoring. Support also took the form of collective understandings within the school about mentoring and common ways of working with all subject departments, which reflect our school values. Support provided through professional development opportunities that focuses on building mentoring knowledge and skills, and assisted mentors to understand themselves and their professional stance. Such development is most effective when it is ongoing and part of a deeper engagement with mentoring, where the pace of transforming the teaching profession in itself as an effect of COVID-19. Greater awareness by the community through all social media platforms to school planning, transparency, which emphasizes the aspect of 21st century skills and its importance for the student body. Providing and allocating time for mentors, mentoring teams and teachers to regularly plan, share ideas, teach and reflect together, and in doing so, time to develop the foundations of a respectful, trusting and professional relationship. Observing daily innovative ideas by teachers, students alike.
The step-by-step implementation of the Learning Walks gave mentors an opportunity to explicitly identify and celebrate our strengths while we worked on the areas that needed improvement. As a mentor, it was a rewarding experience to watch our teachers turn into enthusiastic learners, open to new experiments, new ideas, transforming themselves into better facilitators. in the classrooms, online and on-site alike. Our facilitators have raised a digitalized generation of young learners, capable of taking charge of their own learning while being actively and collaboratively involved in the entire process.
Meaningful data, testing the strategy, and measuring the impact are key terms in the quality assurance processes. Our team at AIS have been submitting a weekly school data reports, offering and receiving feedback and surveys from various stakeholders. Visits have been planned for teams and leaders, including the following categories: our SMT members and mid-leaders, exchanging experiences and teaming the mid-leaders from the various departments and sections, mid-leaders and senior teachers, or teachers and teachers, as well as the quality assurance team visits. These kinds of visits resulted in a journey of improvement towards consistency and common understanding. Measuring the impact. When we are speaking about measuring the impact, it's not only measuring the impact on learning practices, but it extends measuring the impact on learners, on learning, on teachers and teaching practices, as well as parents. Auditing the processes of monitoring and mentoring, reviewing the feedback reports and accomplishments, weekly meetings to discuss our findings, areas of strength and areas of improvement. The involvement of an Ansar community and stakeholders is vital to ensure building the capabilities and capacity for improvement.
Walk has two-folded targets. One, the professional growth of the educator, and two, creative and confident learners with ability to think, question, and move beyond the textual content, engaging themselves in research and application. This maximized student-centered learning is vivid. Regardless of the ability of the learning spectrum, every student gets the opportunity to be creative, innovative, and solve problems. As a teacher, I am proud to see my students of age group 6 to 8 handle technology with amazing skills and speed. Our vision is to give innovative, pioneering, and interactive education that produces capable generations reflecting authenticity and modernity. Yes!
We monitor to improve, not to evaluate. Our constructive feedback is a motivation for self-reflection and building the capabilities. Dear teachers, dear educators, we are not criticizing you. We believe in you. We believe in your abilities and capabilities. You can do better. Our students deserve, and the future is highly demanding the improvements. Some practices impacting on building the culture of improvement within a school. Leading by example, sharing good practices, having a positive talk regarding the consistency of improvement, empowering the educators, sharing and gaining ideas and concepts, and celebrating the positive results, successes and milestones. Keeps the momentum and enthusiasm of the team at the highest. Last but not least, what's next? SPEA has been established to improve the private schools in Sharjah. They are offering the directives, tools and support, and the AIS team has no stop point and will always move forward in the improvement journey.
Our students were excited about the Learning Walk steps, and often we get asked ahead of the 2 weeks to share what the next criteria would be. I think the most exciting criteria was the student engagement and the student challenge. We set tasks that were purposeful and focused, and with this, we found that our students were more productive and were able to work independently. With the switch to using more technological resources and applications, we were able to cater for a variety of learning abilities, from visual, audio, and even kinetic learning. The student well-being criteria turned into a few weeks of beautiful self-discovery for students and teachers. We discovered many students just needed someone to connect with and to talk to, and by providing them the opportunities within our classes for open, supportive and positive discussion.
Student-teacher relationship. Where do we go from now? Okay, the tracking and feedback forms converted into individual profiles for the teachers. We're going to add these elements to the website as a community project, and we're going to create an alignment chart where we have the SPEA learning walks aligned with the Ministry of Education school framework, where we have the school vision, mission and strategic objectives aligned, and where we have Vision 21 and the national agenda from the UAE government aligned. We're also going to add John Hattie's visible learning as a focus for the learning walks. The next year, it's going to be a capitalisation of the successes that we had this year and continue our progress.
Thank you to all of the administrators, to the teachers, to the support staff who pulled out together to make sure that everyone is being helped as students, families, and also to help each other. I would like also to say that the initiation of the themes made it really excellent for the community to be unified and also to motivate teachers and students to keep going and keep learning during this crisis. As a parent, the growth and impact of a student's engagement and students' challenges has been noticeable in the way our students are learning. And I really like the idea that Ansar International School are also emphasizing on social media to transfer this impact to other people in the community. I am happy to say that we have talented, caring and intelligent educators who are doing their best to make sure the students are learning even when they are not in the school premises. Thank you for all the hard work, really appreciate it.
Congratulations, Al-Ansar, we did it!